So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video of Jupiter in the 8th house in Scorpio for Aries ascendant people, as in what happens when Jupiter goes into the 8th house in Scorpio. Ninth Lord is in the 8th house, along with 12th Lords in the 8th house. And as always, if you do not know, if you have this particular position, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, along with all your astrological details, check out the links here, astrology.com, where you'll find my books, reports, consultations, and link to my academy, Retrograde Academy, where I've uploaded a lot of videos regarding the Samsa chart for career, D10 chart. I'll actually upload more. There's a very interesting one that I'll upload today. It is so amazing. Trust me on that. Okay. So, Jupiter's in the 8th house in Scorpio. So, a lot to say here about that. The first thing that you will see with this Jupiter, the person first, it's like a slingshot. Just think of ninth Lord in the 8th house, especially when it's Jupiter and in Scorpio. Okay? Not, let's say, ninth Lord Pisces in the 8th house and Aquarius, but Scorpio. Life is a slingshot. Please note this key phrase. You'll find this 10 out of 10 times in a person's chart. And I'm telling you, biggest sutra of this ninth Lord in the 8th house Jupiter. Life is a slingshot, meaning in order for you to go forward from wherever you are, first you'll have to go back. And you won't like it. Why? Because when you stretch the rubber band, it becomes harder and harder and harder to push it back, right? This is what happens with this Jupiter. Jupiter says, okay, you're going to feel like life is not doing anything. Life is actually even moving backwards. Everything is going against you. Nobody likes you. Nobody wants you. Things are just traumatic. Things are just going nothing but chaotic. All right. And now you're almost to the point that nothing just matters and worth it. Boom. And it slingshots you straight. That's what happens. So if you're, let's say, especially if you're before the age of 34 and you are like, man, this is just, what is wrong with my bhagya, my luck, my fortune? Relax, ease up. Because this is that one position that is going to take you through controversies, conspiracies, major downs, and then suddenly, unexpectedly, and this is not going to be knowing, unexpectedly life moves forward. But one thing you need to watch for, because this person is vulnerable for doing this, they get into selves in controversy and conspiracy related to religious donations, not wanting to respect yogis, sadhus, and especially if it's retrograde, it most definitely become very, very devastating for a person when they insult religions. When they downplay the religion or religions, any kind of a higher dharmic society, regardless if you're Hindu or Christian. Because here Jupiter will give you the tendency and it'll test you to reject these things. Usually you will see such person finds more comfort in things like astrology, occult mysticism. But the thing is, it's not going to help you nothing. It's not going to help you lick, because astrology cannot exist without the belief in God. Astrology may become a key for you to actually start believing again when you see that, oh my God, this dasha cycle is working. This placement is working. Yes, this happened. Yes, that happened. Hopefully, I'm praying that it actually brings you out of that. Because what happens is, due to that rubber band going backwards, you feel like you're the only one selected by God to be punished. But if you keep up the faith is very, very, very important. Okay? I've been in my life where didn't really have faith in certain points, like a girlfriend broke up with me and boom, you just lose that faith, right? In your 20s, because you're very immature, you're like a young tree. You're not realizing that the real roots that are under the ground that are holding you. So this is that position. You will also see with this particular position is that you as an individual, see, Jupiter is the jiva in the 8th house of death and rebirth and rejuvenation. You will see whenever somebody is passing away, this person is sick, this person, your grandma, grandpa, or some old uncle is very, very sick, just about to go. Like, and you're going there to meet them. You watch. Let's say everybody says, their goodbyes in a hospital when aunt or uncle have like ventilator on. And I've been in that situation even with my grandma, my mom's mom. This person, as long as they stay in that room, that person will not die. Like if doctor said, this is it, no more than a minute left now. Heartbeat is down to literally 3. It'll stay there until you leave the room. Because your jiva is in the 8th. When somebody's about to die, Jupiter will keep holding that pot. No. You'll survive. No. I'll keep you going. So your energy next to that person makes them stay in that body, even whether it's necessary or not, whether it's good or bad or not, that doesn't matter. That's more of a personal philosophical, path that you would take. But I'm just saying, and this is why Jupiter in the 8th in Scorpio makes great psychologist, psychiatrist. Like these are the people, like you don't need an astrologer to help you. Sometimes I've seen like psychologists have really turned people around. Why? Because they just have that natural ability to turn somebody around. They're like, I'm not going to let you die. I know you're depressed. I know you're a drug addict. Okay. Nothing is working in your life. Your wife left you, your husband left you, this and this happened. You want to, kind of end yourself. But no, I'll bring you out. And they do bring you out. Because that is the kartavya, the duty, the commitment of this Jupiter in your chart that, okay, I am here to rejuvenate something. I'm here to rejuvenate something, whether it's a life, whether it's a corporation, whether it's some education that was lost and I'm going to bring it back out. You will especially see this with retrograde Jupiter in the 8th house as a 9th lord. It becomes extremely powerful to restart something in terms of some ancient knowledge, some lost practice that they revive. Because that is actually becomes that particular duty of that Jupiter, whether you're a lawyer or IT engineer, you're going to revive something. Maybe you'll take on some, for example, there was a murder mystery 50 years ago. Nobody could solve it. Somehow you're like, wait a second, what about this, and this? Nobody connected this and this. And then you just take on that case as a pro bono. Next thing you know, you're solving a 50-year-long murder mystery. And finally, they catch the guy in his 80s and 90s. Those are the things that Jupiter is able to do in this particular scenario. The other thing you will see, Father himself gets into controversy, conspiracies related to the donations that he gives, the investments that he makes, the money that he gives. Father has to be very careful because of your chart when he gives money to someone and somebody asks money. Because later on, then Father finds out, oh my God, I gave this person this money and then they scammed people from this particular organizations that they did. That's what happened. And then Father gave a huge donation, so now Father's name is on it. Okay. The other thing you will also see, there's always gonna be controversy and wastage of food, either in your father's life. Okay, there could be a lot of wastage of food in father's life, or especially when you go to in-laws. You will see whenever you go to in-laws, no matter how great the food is, you will not enjoy it, and especially if that Jupiter is retrograde. You'll always complain about the lack of food or something wrong with the food when Jupiter's in this particular house. And you got to understand, retrograde planet can become very powerful. Like, legacies are made through retrograde planets, honestly. Especially if it's not afflicted by other planet and it's by itself. Okay. Because you have to understand that a retrograde planet is only being retrograde because it doesn't want to face the heat of the sun. It does see retrograde planet actually can become very careful in constructing their legacy, because 8th house is also legacy, something that people will remember you with after death, which is the 8th house. And this is why when planets are retrograde, they can do something really big because they're so afraid of that king, sun. This is why outer planets go retrograde right when they're about to go in the front and they go back. So when the planet is going back, it's like, okay, the police is watching me. Okay, hold on. Hold your breath, calm down. You haven't done anything wrong. Now, if other planets are there, then the person retracts because they are trying to do something wrong. But it's actually very good when a planet is retrograde because it puts in a fear of a person for morality, and Jupiter is a moral planet. Okay, and the other thing you will notice, your in-laws would have had a reversal in their money. At one point in their life, they would have either came close to bankruptcy, they would have lost a lot of money in something, maybe their business. I've actually had an instance where the parents lost a lot of money because of the wedding of their daughter. That was the only daughter, only child, and they made the wedding so nice and lavish, but at the end, then they're getting the reading where we did this, yes, our only daughter, what can we do to make money? I'm like, yep. Because they were also getting the daughter's reading with me. And it was especially regarding childbirth of the daughter. But they were giving me like the whole scenario. So I'm like, yeah, I can see why. Okay. Then the other thing, because of Jupiter is in the 8th house in Scorpio, okay, in the moksha triangle, this person, you will see, they will desire to create. Okay, the word is create. They will desire to create organizations that help, like NGO, or help spiritual societies, gurus. They will do that at one point in their life, even though, let's say right now you could be a complete atheist. But they will like to create something that helps out, especially like organizations that take in donations. And also with Jupiter in the 8th house, there's natural blessings of the Pitris. In regards to, if this person does sadhana, spiritual sadhana, sadhana becomes very important. And when this person starts doing sadhana regularly, you will see within a few years, they can even attain a property, real estate. But there has to be some form of an exchange that has to happen because we're in that loop. See, 8 is that loop. What goes around comes around. What you give is what you get. And this is why, especially with Jupiter in the 8th house, give donations. Because when these donations come back, they're going to come back eightfolds. Ashtalakshmi. Do not be afraid of giving donations with this Jupiter. I'm not telling you to give articles away of Jupiter, like some Lal Kitab remedy or something. I'm saying help out. And because the sign of Pisces is in the 12th house, we naturally see it has to be somehow dealing with either monasteries, monks, hermitages, spiritual, monks and priest and priestess, nuns. On the other hand, usually for higher education, okay, it's always better to go to foreign lands to attain your higher education. Because the education that you get in your own homeland, like MBA, PhD, it will not really help you so much. But when you go to foreign lands to attain that higher education, it has a completely different result. Why is that? Because 9th lord of higher education is 12th from itself. And if you are where you stay, getting that education, then it becomes a loss. And how to change that loss into a gain, you go far away. And that's another thing with this Jupiter 9th lord in the 8th. Even though it's in a fixed sign, being in a foreign place changes the energy of the chart somehow. The results that I was giving 100%, it might cut it down to 70 or 60%. Because you have changed that complete longitude and latitude to where you were moving to. And this way you can see this with not astrocartography chart. It is part of the astrocartography chart where you can see the zodiac signs, zodiac lines, not planetary lines, zodiac lines. So whenever you move to that particular line, if you make that the ascendant, you can read the chart from there and see now what it's doing. Okay, so for example, instead of Sagittarius, let's say you moved to a Cancer line, which might actually be directly 7 oceans across. In that case, you will see a dramatic change. Why? Because you need to. Ninth Lord of Luck is in the 8th in Scorpio. Okay. And in that case, the luck is going to go through a transformation when you leave far away from where you were born. And especially because Jupiter is in the 8th in Scorpio. Obviously, I can't really say that here with this particular video unless I look at your Vim Samsa chart, that a person may actually get attracted towards like Shiva Bhakti, especially if Jupiter and Vim Samsa is with Saturn, it's with Sun. Okay, you will see a person will become a karma yogi. Maybe if they're atheists, they're still doing karma. They're like, I'm going to help the world. That's what the real thing is. You see, that's part of actually bhakti they don't realize. That you're an atheist and you're just like, no, I'm going to help the scientists, the scientific community, and the people who are hungry. Why are we giving these money to temples and all of that? And actually, if you look at their Vim Samsa, the D20 chart, you will actually realize that, okay, they're karma yogi. As an atheist, they're still believing in something that is making them do something. That's how it works. So you can't get away from just not being some form of a believer. Even that is a belief system. Okay. So anyway, guys, this is my analysis of Jupiter in the sign of Scorpio in the 8th house. Again, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below so you don't miss this type of videos. If you want to know where your Jupiter is placed, all my consultations, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.